Morning all. Morning, Marie. John. Hey, morning, Mark. A morning man this time. Okay. Yeah. Probably raining in Cape Town. At least it's sunny here, actually. We've had a lot of summer rains lately. It's not too bad today. Went for a nice walk this morning because my days of being Delta forces running in the rain are well over. So it's raining, I chicken out. So I went for a bit of a power walk this morning just to cheer me up. It's a quite no income day. Oh, well, fair enough. Not much I can say on that. Oh, it's 1:30 already. Sorry. Beg your pardon. Thought still a couple minutes to go. Beg your pardon. Okay, we'll start off with this. We've got a trade idea out. Send out CHF JPY, put in 146.90 or better. Or better, I hope you all realize, means for a better price. Doesn't mean to say start putting buy stops in. I want to mention pending orders. People seem to forget a moment between trades. Mention pending orders. Getting a few inquiries confusing a pending order with a market order. Just to make sure everyone understands that it's quite an astronomical, major difference. Astronomical, pushing it a bit, but major difference. Well, anyway, yeah, or better means a better price. So that's a better price, and so no harm, I think, going in. As you can see, I've got a bit of an area here. It might have pulled back to, but we thought an aggressive trade. So meet the button. Oh, very well. That's a face from the past. Just wait till she comes on. Let's say hi to her. That's an excellent lady, right? Way back from 2-3 years ago. Met up with her from the trading room. Welcome back, Mika. Sorry to embarrass you. Hardly got your head in here. Being already called out. Welcome back. Good to have you. The only lady I know I'm slightly frightened of. Maybe discuss what you do for a living afterwards, eh? Brilliant. Great to have you. Okay, sorry, to move on, yeah, JPY, CHF JPY, give you a better price. Some guys might have got below 146.80 if they took it. My only worry at the moment was I discussed the strategy, or might have a pullback here, but I still see a bit of technical damage indecision up there, but I still see the Swiss franc is still stronger than JPY. So I thought for an aggressive trade, let's try it out. The risk reward is not that high. In other words, only a few pips to the downside stop, to a few pips to the TP. So, you know, it's only about, what, 50, 60 rand or something like that per micro instead of 100 plus, which makes a pleasant change. So it is a more aggressive trade, and maybe I should have put that out to the guys, but I'm telling you guys in the TR, it's an aggressive trade, and it looks like it's moving up as we speak. I have taken it myself, or I have to be honest, by the time going out finished, when I got in at 80, to be honest, so I got a slightly better price. But that's it, not a problem. See how it goes. So if you like it, you can do it. Those guys were not, remember, if you want to become a member of my WhatsApp group, you need to have at least 2,500 Rand or more in your account, and then you can be a member of my WhatsApp group. On that, you will get the trading signals, daily economic updates, and various other areas of interest posted to you, and often, like I did yesterday, modify stop loss, suggest. So a lot of guys modified and stopped out in the profit in case it takes a dive in the opposite direction, which we'll discuss just now. Never mind, makes my life a lot easier. Get it out fresh off the press, the trade idea to you immediately without waiting for me to be chased. And then unfortunately, when I am chased, the ship has sailed. Because I mean, I might get the idea, get in now, and you're busy. And then you sort of, hey, Roger, I've got WhatsApp me at, I don't know, 11 o'clock. Any trade ideas out for the moment? So what we had, well, unfortunately, it's the ship has sailed. It's too late to join it. But the guys who have the trading, member of the QT WhatsApp group won't have that problem because it's all posted out to generate to them all. The reason why it's $2.5 grand, it's the guys who got let on board already with less than that, they won't be kicked off. Don't panic on that. It's just when you're making it now, because trying to get people to take this seriously. I'll give an example. Of course, I'm not going to mention who it was, but somebody deposited £1 today at the trading account. I hope for their sake they're taking the piss, because if they're not and they think they can trade on it, I worry. I really worry. But anyway, the point being, if you're going to do this properly, you do need knowledge. That's why you go in the trading room, get the course. You need obviously a laptop, preferably, and a phone. But if you haven't, well, graduate towards it. And of course, you need some capital. Trying to trade undercapitalized is like any business you undertake. If you're undercapitalized, it's always going to be a struggle, despite what Kiyosaki and companies say. That's just being upfront, unless you get incredibly lucky like some. Okay, so it's 2.5 minimum. If you're not on board, you've got 2.5. Yeah, I know, Sean. It's unbloody believable. And that's not the record. Guy put in 46 cents deposited. The trouble is, we're thinking making charges the company is, because at the moment, we don't charge it. Like it, all banks, they charge. We don't. We're thinking of introducing it because it costs us money in admin costs to facilitate that. It's just nonsense. Unless they're taking a piss. I mean, if they're taking a piss, all right, you're having a laugh. It worries me, some guys don't seem to get this. Like the guy had 50 rand the other day, can I trade on it? That worries me. If you're putting 50 rand to try it out, to see if we're scammers or not, I get that, of course. You know, I mean, there's a lot of them out there. But if you actually think with you can't even buy a hamburger with, and you're going to trade the international forex markets on derivatives with that kind of capital. It's like me house hunting with 500 rand in back pocket. I mean, you know, what world are you living in, you know? So it sounds harsh, but it's frustrating. And, you know, no, what else to say? So, yeah, bottom line is 2.5 grand if you have insider trading, yeah. I'll put mine, it's Roger. I'm not sure if you're on it or not, Mika, but if you've got 2.5 grand or more, which I think you might have, just Roger, I think I got my number, I'll put it on anyway. Support. Yeah. Just WhatsApp, okay? 061 529 3431. Please text or WhatsApp if you want it, with who you are and your trading account. So I don't have to faff around trying to find who you are. I just put the number in your real account, check it's 2.5 or more, 10, 15, 20 accounts, or what's a minimum, obviously. And then I'll upload you to see if you can do that. Make your life a hell of a lot easier, trust me. Okay, right, where was I? Yeah, CHFJPY, if you want to take it, signal sent out, but some guys might not be on board with that signal. Just looking at this guy in, I'll put it in. It still seems to be there. There you are. It's only 55 bucks a micro. Who wants to take it? There it is. Sorry, you've got my number, Mika. Do me a favor. Just WhatsApp me, say this is Mika button. I think I've got your details, but just but you might have changed your account anyway. Just put your 6-figure real account number and just WhatsApp me. You don't even have to say button. I know exactly who you are. We've met. You know what I mean? Just say it's Mika here. Just upload me, and I'll do it after 11 o'clock when this is finished. Just WhatsApp me that number again. Good to hear from you again, anyway. Remember, I get busy, so keep it short to the point. You can, if it's detailed, put a voice message on. It takes time. If it's not, just a quick WhatsApp saying who you are. And please, if any useful information you think might be required, otherwise it's time to drag it out of you. You know what I mean? Makes life quicker. Now, the other thing, I want everyone to mute themselves. They're not interacting. Like I've got to mute you all now. But if you want to unmute, if you want to speak to me, just say, Roger, unmute, and I'll do that with pleasure. But otherwise, you're getting background noises. Hope you understand that. Sorry, I forgot to mention that, Sean. It's 3K for you, 2.5K for everybody else. Actually, I should be the other way around, actually, Sean, because you're a great asset to the trading room. Should make you for free, actually, joking apart. 3K, 4K, 10K, whatever you want. So minimum 2.5. And if you got 2.5 in your account, just WhatsApp me, or you're about to do it, that's fine. And still WhatsApp me, and I'll make sure I've got all the details ready. And then when the payment's done, or it doesn't cost you anything. What's it cost? It doesn't cost you anything. It means your account's your money in your bank account. It has to be 2.5 grand more. We want to get people to start taking this seriously, diversify. We've got shares, we've got indices, we've got so much. And with 500, or even 600-700, you go 0.01, and that's it, in one at a time. If you go big on a highly leveraged account, you're going to get margin call. You're trying to run a race without the proper equipment. You need the capital, you need the knowledge, and you need obviously the laptop or phone, or both, preferably. But yeah, 2.5, 3 grand upwards, whatever. Okay, so if anyone take that trade, there it is. Bloody Eskom. Yeah, I had mine at 6 to 8:30 this morning. So it won't feel the trading room anyway. Okay, I'm hoping we get this inverter sorted out, because that's giving me jip at the moment. I've only had it a few months. It's costing a fortune. Okay, I've already got it written down because we've got out a trade idea. So it's nice that TR guys got it. Okay, great. So that's fine. So keep an eye on that one. Right. We've got another one to look at today, the Netflix, but that'll be later on this afternoon. But I'll talk about it now because we don't have a session Friday afternoon, as you all know. If you don't, fair enough. Just want to mention, we've got a breakfast this time, a company breakfast get together in Darba Hotel. So we're getting together there tomorrow morning. So there are there's no what you call it, classes tomorrow. Clearly, there's no TR anyway. There's no sort of like platform training or CFDs or Forex, any of those classes, not. I don't think if it applies to you guys, you probably know the score already. I'm just saying, been after 10, so I have. Right. What I want you to do, just what's his name there? Robert did there. What I want you to do, and remember this, reminds me, by the way, I want you to do what he just did there. I want you to interact. It worries me when a lot of guys attend classes, attend these things, and they don't interact. Maybe they're playing on Facebook, I don't know. And it comes up later, they're making mistakes that shouldn't be made, or they're asking questions that shouldn't really be there, because they should have learned that in the class, because they were scared to actually say, I don't understand, please clarify. This is only way I can do that. I'm not a soothsayer or mind reader. You need to do what Robert did and ask that question. Absolutely, I'll ask it now. Right. Yeah, great. Now, if you've placed a 0.01 order in, and you've got, let's say, a 10 grand account, and clearly you can maybe afford, I don't know, 0.04. What 0.0 is a micro. Can I just say that's easy to say? And you put a micro in, and you're meant to put in 4. You can't change that. You can modify the stop loss. You can close it. You can modify your TP. You can't change it. You're in the market. You know what you can do is you can open a new order for the differential. So if you wanted 4, you placed 1 by mistake. Then you open a new order with 0.03. So now you got 4 micros. If now you're doing well and you modify your stop and you want to close 2 micros, you can do. You can close the 1 micro one completely, and then you can go and close 1 micro in your 3 micro position. We call that partially close. People think you're going to close the lot. No. If were given 1 million shares of Timbuktu Incorporated, you don't have to sell all 1 million. You have to sell 50,000 to get some capital. Same principle. So you obviously can't cut a position on 0.01. It's the minimum. But if you had more than 0.01, you can close the lot or close part of it. And it's quite simple as well. I hope you all know that. So, Robert, all you do is if you made a mistake, it's too little, you just have to open up a new order. Hope that clarifies. I also want to mention, before we go into trades, we did, which I posted on my WhatsApp. We all did okay, by the way. So I'm happy to discuss them. Right, remember, market execution, you get the current price. If you're in a pending order, you're not in the market. You're trying to get a better price. I just want to clarify it. Some people don't understand it. So the price is this now, and you don't get into this price. You want it 146.80. You place an order 146.80. It doesn't get triggered. You're not in the market. So then you just delete it. Right. When you place it, you'll have a choice of maybe day or GTC. Let's take 2 seconds on this. day or GTC, good till cancel. Now that does not, repeat, not apply to market execution. If in the market, you'll stay there forever, unless it's your stop loss TP or you manually close it. On a pending order, you say, I'm going to offer to purchase. If at the end of the day, you've got day close, if at the end of the day, that order has not been filled, as we call it, then it'll be removed. So if you want to place it again the next day, you'd have to replace it again. Or if you have GTC, it'll sit there until you manually delete it. There's no cost, by the way. Somebody costs, of course you can, you're not in the market. But don't, like some guys are saying, I'm not moving. The price is moving, it's not moving and not making any money. Well, you're not in the market, so you order. I hope everyone understands that. It's a nice feature, it's a necessary feature. It's not a nice feature, John. It's a necessary feature. It's not fair on you guys. Why should you sell a lot? You've got 3 houses, you have a financial problem. Why do you have to sell all 3 of them? Sell one of them, keep the other 2. You're doing well with the other 2. No, it's a very necessary. You wouldn't do that if you had 1 million shares of Tesla and want to sell out this 1,000. Why do you have to sell a lot? No, absolutely. And all you do is just go on and highlight the one you want to partially close. It'll take 2 seconds to explain it. Not with the SL and TP boxes, obviously, that's for modifying that. Anywhere else, double click, box comes up, and you see the yellow bar close. We ignore that and you put in the volume. So you've got 5 micros, you want to close 2, so you put 0.02 in the volume, then you press the yellow bar, 2 are banked, 3 will remain. It's as simple as that. You should all be on top of the basics. Whoever's doing platform training normally, I think Tintin is not doing, he's doing something else tonight. So I'm going to fill in doing platform training tonight, 6:30. This is a fill-in. And I will be concentrating on not going into too much detail of platform. All I want for guys is to know how to place an order, close it, partially close it, modify TP and stop loss, and add to their watch list. Absolute basics. Because once they can do that, it's our priority, and really try and push it down them, they can start trading. Because if they've got 2.5 grand or more, they get the trading signals. I can't place it, and I'm not going to spend time showing you how to do it. I've got other guys to look after, other guys to phone. I expect the person to know how to place an order. So I have to say, just go back to platform training. So if you, once you know how to place an order and you're on the group WhatsApp, as you're learning, hopefully, if it comes right, you can earn as you learn, they say. Yeah, I'll be doing the platform training tonight, filling in. And I'm not going into major details. I ain't going to do that. I know Clinton does it properly over a couple of hours. I'm not worried whether you become a fundy on the platform or all I want you to know is how to add a security or an instrument, financial instrument to your watch list, how to close, how to partially close, how to modify, and how to up your stop loss and TP. As long as you can do that. I'm not going to show you how chart works. You can do that in other lessons. As long as you can place the bloody order, basically. Now I'm doing platform training tonight and class on tonight, not tomorrow, but there's no trading room on today at 4 o'clock. 6:30, I'm doing, you can get the platform, I'll post it for you. Okay. Just give me a second. Right, actually I'll post it, just give me a second. I'm allowed to do that. I can't do the other ones because they're not free. You have to buy the course. But I can do this one. Just give me a second. Could go up a bit. Just bear with me. Actually, it's on your portal anyway. All trading room and all those details on the portal. I can make that out. Okay. So there you are. What time platform trading? It's yeah. Usually start up just after 6:20 to get it ready for 6:30. So do that. I'm not doing the phone. I'm just doing the laptop. Okay. Good. Right. Okay. See it. Check. I've done that. Okay, just a second as I go back to DXY. Okay, now I'm doing a bit of a roll in for going. I just want to post these. Everyone should have it. If they don't, you guys like Mika and that who trade before might have this. I want them to have it. Right, 1 second. Copy and paste this onto your laptop. Very important. What's this one? This is the dollar index. I'm going to do another two. This one is the yields on the 10-year note. The yields, not the bond itself, or the note, whatever you want to call it. And the other one I've filtered for you is the economic calendar. 10:30, Lagarde is speaking. So we're going to be a little bit wary of the euro till that specific time, Mikhail. Come to that in a second. Sorry to hold you up on this. Just want to get these things sorted. Because it's really, it's clattering up the admin. It's time taking. When you want to help people with trades and you're dealing with stuff that we shouldn't have to be dealing with because it's not been fully understood on the basics. Okay. Okay, well, you might do, yeah. So 10:30, Lagarde speaking. I post on there the economic calendar filtered. I want those who do not have those three, please copy, paste them onto your laptop, save them, and then minimize them and have them handy when you're trading. You don't have to have two screens, preferably if you have, but I've got two screens. And on my other screen, I've got the DXY as we speak. That is the dollar index. And you need to know what's happening with the dollar. You need to obviously know what's happening with the economic calendar, that's vital. And the yields. That is of importance as well, because lower yields means higher share price, higher indices, etc. So you need to keep an eye on those. Okay. Don't forget, shares open Hoppers Force. We'll discuss. We can't discuss tonight in session today, so you might have a look at it. Look at maybe Netflix to come off. We've got a couple out that seem to be doing okay. We're going to go through that now. I don't have any major trades at the moment. The only one I'm looking at is Netflix, which will be posted later on this afternoon for a short, depending on opening, how it opens. But I think it's going to be some pullback on Netflix, and I think it's going to be a pullback on F-Stock, that's forward. But that shares will come to in a moment. Right, what was I going to say? Yeah, we had a few trades out over the last couple of days. Again, I posted them all on the group. We'll start at AUD CAD. I also posted suggest modify stop loss. So most of you guys who followed that and worked on my suggestion would have been stopped out on AUD CAD as a profit. Where's a piece of the paper here? AUD CAD 89.74 was the entry. The TP was 87.90. Did it get there? We're on the daily 87.90. Yes, actually, no, it didn't quite get there, 87.90. But I advise people modify the stop loss like I did. I do it myself, and I modified the. You shouldn't be in Baba. It didn't reach the entry point. We'll come back in a minute. But I modified. I suggest everyone else did. So everybody who was on the group should have been stopped out in a profit because it bounced before it got to the TP. Remember, the TP doesn't always get reached. What's going to happen to variables of the market? We can't predict that. We just take an overall view. I'm sure most of you know that already. So don't religiously follow the TP. It's going to get there. It might do, but it might not. So modify the stop loss. And the stop loss was modified so that AUD came to a profit. The feedback I got was happy with people made a profit. The other one, a few of them, AUD CHF I sent out. That was also modified into a profit, and then it bounced. But the guys were stopped out on a profit. Well, fantastic. CAD JPY didn't do too well, but it got above 105 in the end. So some guys might have got out broke even, modified, and might have taken maybe a couple of dollars or a couple of rands loss rather. But it didn't do that well. But having said that, it's a very, very minimal downside because it did bounce in the end to give some guys a bit of respite on that one. Euro dollar, we sent out, or I sent out rather, just give that all a minute. So I'm just doing these trades first. And chat, I'll look at the chat line in a minute. Euro dollar sent out at 1.0420. Again, I suggested modifying, and it went down nicely. It's the daily chart, went down to nearly 1.03, and then it bounced. So the guys didn't get stopped out in a profit, are still in, will still be in a profit. So that's doing just nicely. The other one was dollar yen. That was again in, what was the price again? 139.74 as a buy. Gave a bit of jip actually. A few people got a bit worried. It did come off a bit and then it bounced nicely. And then I suggested modifying into a profit. Most guys did. And again, they got stopped out in a profit. Again, it's pulled back. If you didn't read that or you didn't do that, you'd probably still be in it. You'd be breaking even. So be it. You stick with the trade. Could get upside still. But that's the value that's produced if you're a member of the QT group, because I can't always, I get busy with a modify, but if I've got a moment, I'll say suggest modify. And sometimes if you do it, ones at night suddenly go pear-shaped, doesn't matter, you're stopped out in the profit. All of mine were stopped out in the profit yesterday, doing exactly the same thing, because I'm not worried we get a TP or not. I did modify to protect myself. I hope we're all clear on that. We also did shares, BA, 174 was the entry. It's in profit, a little bit too close to modify the stop as yet. Not that you can do, remember, you can't at the moment. The market is closed on shares, but at least it's in profit a couple of bucks or so. Tesla was a beaut. I sent out to the guys to modify the stop to entry. 195 was the entry, 180 is the TP. I'm not too clear on that from before. And I said modify to entry, 195. So basically, you're protected and it's doing nicely. Some guys took the profit anyway. It nearly got, it got within 60 cents, I think it is, 180.60, I think it is, off the TP and then reversed up $1. So it's practically there. I know a lot of guys that sold it. For another 60 cents, I'm taking it. They did it very well. I know 1 or 2 new guys and over 2.5 brand new on the member on the group and took it. Now they're pleased as punch because they took it and did very well out of it. And so it's doing beautifully. There we are. You're in the group, are you? Of course, you must be. You wouldn't be appreciated. Okay, good. And you can see back up what I'm saying. So there you are. It's not me talking. Cheryl will back you up. So those in the group will know that. Okay. So yeah. So there we are. Right. Okay. Baba. You mentioned Baba. Baba was wondering about 70 or something down here somewhere. Hasn't been reached. It climbed yesterday, even though the NAS fell off quite a bit. I thought this might go off with it. It didn't. But it's in the buy zone at the moment. Very much defending there, very indecision there. I think it's seeing a little bit, sorry, it's a neutral zone, the daily. I think it's seeing a little bit of overcooked at the moment. I think it might pull back, but we'll rather maybe look at that on Monday. We'll be worried about that too much at the moment. If you jumped in without looking at the signal at markets anyway, because you saw without reading the entry price, I don't think it's going to be too much of a disaster. I think it probably will get a little pullback. It's a bit extremely overcooked. Okay. Thanks, non-familiar. Thanks. That's a feedback I want. Not because I want a pat on the back. Well, I mean, of course I do. I'd be lucky if I did. Who doesn't? But I want it to, for practical reasons, to see it's actually of value. Because it's value for everyone. That's the whole point behind it. Because the major reason, I'll be very truthful now, is that much value, I'm thinking of charging. And it will not be cheap, guys. No, I'm obviously only joking. I will have my little laugh. But yeah, so as long as it's on the serious note, it's useful to you. I need that feedback. And then we can post it to other guys as a sort of a marketing tool, saying, genuinely, clients are liking it. It's free to go on. All you got to do is have some money in your account. It's your money. You can always take it out if you want. Okay, European Central Bank pushing the speak ahead. Yeah, we know that. No, that's yeah, that's right. She's speaking up as 10. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Christine Lagarde, President of the ECB, Jerome Powell, Chairman of the Board. I'm Chairman of the US Fed. Very important, you know these guys. Okay, going back, have I missed Euro JPY? I didn't ignore you, Mikhail. I'm just a little bit hesitant to play around the Euro at the moment, as I mentioned to Gerald on the WhatsApp this morning, because we're speaking at 10:30. I think a good chance of being hawkish. I still think the Japanese yen is a little bit overcooked at the moment and might weaken a bit. Overbought is what I'm saying. And I think the euro might gain a little bit of strength. Depending on what she says, we don't know. So I'm a little bit reluctant to sell this or buy it at the moment. I suggest staying aside. There you are, old dog. My friend, old dog Shaw. Yeah, partially closed. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Now you do. You're a Labrador, so you're a handsome dog. Pending orders. You all know about pending orders. Everyone knows the difference now. Don't have to say yes, but anybody sitting there does not know how to partially close and doesn't know the difference between a pending order and a market order. Anybody not know that? I don't mind taking a couple of seconds to clarify. I'll do it more in depth, of course. It's 6:30 tonight, and I'm doing PT, but that's platform traders. That means say physical trading guys. Don't get panic now. But you've got to know that. I mean, a lot of stuff you learn, but there's certain things you've got to know. You don't have to be an expert mechanic of the car. You can't change gear. You can't put your foot on the brake. You can't drive the car. These are basics which you have to know. So anybody there, don't have to say you do know, it's irrelevant. Anybody there not know what a pending order is, or the difference of pending and a market and after partially closed. We can do that with pleasure. Or you can put buy stops and sell stops. I mentioned that before. Make sure you've got enough money in your account just in case of whiplash. But a big, I just want to mention this, a big fundamentals coming out on the euro Japanese yen in 10 minutes time, for argument's sake. You can put a buy stop there and a sell stop here. If it goes wrong, it comes off, kicks your sell stop, you're on board. If it goes up, kicks your buy stop, you're on board. You delete your sell stop and then ride it up. Or if it comes off, delete your buy stop and ride it down, modify stop. Doing well, but you still like it, modify, maybe partially close, modify, partially close, until you eventually stopped out. This is not complicated stuff. It's called thinking. I didn't know that because you never gave it much thought. If you're going to be in the business, you've got to think a bit. Ask anybody in any profession. You've got to know the stuff involved. Know the rules, if you like, Haymaker. And some guys say they want to do scalping. The only thing you've got to watch with scalping is you've got to make sure you've got a profit. Okay, sorry, you've got to take into account costs. So it's no good saying, I'm going to buy at 145.14 and then sell at 145.15, because you get in on this one, you get out on that before that the market maker spread. So you get at 14, that's got to go to 14 to break even, and then it's got to go above. And then you can take your profit. Good, thanks, Marcus. There you are, because you didn't understand that. You just remember, you've got to take count of costs. Hopefully in the future we'll be looking at that. I'm not saying anything I shouldn't, I'm saying we're looking at it. But I don't want to tell you any more than that at the moment, because we haven't got 100% on it. But a lot of stuff we're working in the background to make our product better and more competitive with the guys out there. So we are working on it, so stick with us. I personally think our service is probably the best out there. At the brokers sort of, what do you call it, not meeting, but where they judge them, we're in the top 5 just about everything. So there's nothing wrong with the service, but there are a few other things we need to juice up a bit to get competitive with the big boys. And we're working on it. It might take a month, it might take longer, but we're going to get better, guys. And one of them I'm hoping to push for is slightly reduced costs, which means you can scalp. And it'll come back to the broker as well. If you scalp more, there's more brokerage. You know what I'm saying? It's like the supermarkets. They do. They might smaller margin, quick, more turnover to make up for it, that sort of thing. Okay, so we're working on stuff. Hope they come through. Right, so I think leave the euro alone for the moment. Other trades are all fine. I think most of them might have been stopped out in the profits, so we won't need to revisit them at this stage. Not necessarily. They did okay. In fact, I think out of the last week or so, I haven't checked over the last month, but just last week, I think I had about 10 or 11 trades out, and only two of them didn't go right. That was gold, and that was one of the thoughts I probability one. Just shows you never can be sure. That was a thing I probably, and it didn't come right. And NZD CAD, I looked at that as a short, and it went long. But the others, including the shares, seem to be doing just fine. So that's great. So yeah. Get 2.5 grand in your account if you haven't, and become a member and let me know. And quite frankly, if you haven't got the money, you've got to question whether you make a success of this, because you're undercapitalized. And it just defeats me why someone should pay 1,000 rand a month for knowledge and then put 500 or 600 rand in their account to make use of it. It's like me spending 100 grand for driving lessons and then buying a broken down old second-hand bicycle. Why would you do that? But irrational always overcomes some emotions anyway. Emotions always overcomes rational anyway. But yeah, if you're undercapitalized, sorry, it's just the way it is. And it's a worldwide thing now. That's why the poor is always going to be poor and the rich is going to be rich. It's just the way it is. Every system we tried in the world is trying to do something about it, and this is doing me good. Doing okay, the Chef JPY, you're right, yes. Brilliant. I think it's a little bit early to put your stop up to 149, I think 10 pips away. If you can hold above that, we can move modify stop. I'll check later on. If you got in at below 147.80, maybe because it came back a bit. If you got in on the trading signal set out maybe 147.75 or something, it pulled back earlier on today. Let's do a 4-hour chart. It pulled back there just now. Yeah, pulled back to 70 in the end. Then you can raise it to to entry. But if you got in at 85.90, it's too close. You need at minimum 20, preferably 30 pip. Later on, you can put 20 pip gaps, but when you first modify, I think probably better have 30 pips, just in case you get stopped out and it shoots on and then you fell up because you're not on board. A lot of guys naturally do that, and it is frustrating. They make 10 round, they could have made 50 because they've got the stop too close. I know it's better than a loss, but sometimes it works for you. That's the market for you. Thank God you did, because it suddenly turned his mind and shot down again. I still think the major priority is protect the risk side of it, protect your equity. I'd rather you took the 10 round profit and miss out on the 50 than hold on to the 50 and take a 100 round loss. You get the point. That's up to you, as long as you get the concept what I'm on about. So finally, in other words, you can definitely say since you've been on the group in the last 3 or 4 weeks, you've benefited. I need that sort of feedback. Because I'm going to start pushing this much harder, because quite frankly, it just seems to be just better. In fact, you guys chasing all the time. I don't mind it. It's just half the time I'm going to buy, sorry, make the ship sail. It's no good. And think on your feet a bit. You know, don't put buy stops in. If it's a market entry, you're getting a better price. Go for it. Give you a better price. And please use the math. If you're getting entry is 146.80 and the risk is 50 rand, and you get it 147, the risk is going to be higher because the gap is between the stop loss and the entry is going to be wider. Again, this is basic arithmetic. Okay, so it's benefiting you as well, Amber. Is that correct? Because I know for a fact there's an enormous amount of traders coming in with a nice big dream and very little financial education, and it's coming up and biting. It's frustrating because we can't predict the markets, too many variables. We do our best, of course, but I mean, there's a lot of unknowns, we know that. But we can correct the things that can be corrected. You didn't know you're driving 120 and 80 zone. Well, you need to know you're driving 80 zone. And you get stopped, you didn't know why you got stopped, and now you've got to pay a hefty fine. You didn't know. That's why you got to know those things. Okay. And don't forget, position sizing is absolute. Something else I forgot to mention. I'll be doing that in the platform trading nights position size calculator. You must have this. With a bit of practice, you know your maths, do it in your head like myself. That's just practice. But until you do it, you've got to have it. You don't want underexposure is frustrating because it hits your TP and you make start all because your volume is too small. But overexposing is the worst. And then holding on because you can't take a hit, so you start modifying your stop down and down and down. So you can't take the hit until you're in the dwang. 50% down on one instrument of your entire capital is not the way to trade. It's inevitable. You're going to see my land your ass. Volume, correct. You got to know what to, 5 grand, 300, 350, 10 grand, 5 to 600, 20 grand, 25 grand, maybe 700, 800, 900, 1,000 upwards. Don't overexpose. Once you got 100 grand in your account, between 2% of industry normal, you might go 3%, 2 to 3 grand. 100 grand guys do what they know what they're doing. You'll see them with 2.5 grand risk, and you'll see a guy with 10 grand, 2.5 grand down, because they're not understanding the position sizing, the volumes, the percentages, and basic maths involved. Okay. You see, the problem is, finally, there is the way want to show wealth. The problem is, this is why I hate to say most, shall we say, unsophisticated people get played with advertising on smart shoes, smart cars, smart whatever, and they buy them on debt. These are liabilities, they're not assets. So you're actually leveraging a liability, because it goes down in value, and you're leveraging a down value because it's presumption shelf. All they're doing is showing off debt. It's not their money, it's debt. And unfortunately, that's where the advertising companies play by getting a smarter car you can really afford. You might need one to get from A to B, but because it's sold on that basis, that's what marketing's all about. And unfortunately, that show of wealth is actually, all it is in most cases, a show of debt. If you add your debt up to your assets, you probably find you're poor on the guy standing on the road. If you owe 100,000, you've only got 50 grand, you might be in a smart car, but you're actually 50 grand in debt, so you're minus 50 grand. And the guy standing on the street hasn't got any debt, he's only got 10 rand in his back pocket, he's actually richer than you if you look at it that way. So just be careful understanding that. Okay. I know this country's saving is terrible, but in America it's just as bad. There's a hell of a lot of percentage in the supposedly richest country in the world living paycheck to paycheck because they're so liability amortized on debt. And that is the major problem we're having in the world at the moment. It's biting us big time. And that's what's causing inflation. And that's why increasing interest rates, which now guys have to default on their debt, now they have an even bigger problem. Debt is unfortunately over the last 50, 60 years, debt was looked down upon 70, 80 years ago. Debt has been basically the problem now of the last 50 years. It's pseudo wealth. It's built on debt. And as a result of it, most problems have been kicked down the road by the baby boomers to the guys picking up the problems now. Just check, you mean the economic calendar ones? I've got the economic calendar on the screen, just put it up, have a look. Housing permitting it is. Yeah, existing home sales, reasonably so. It's not CPI, that's more important. PPI to a lesser extent than CPI. It's important, but I don't think it's a major. It depends how it's interpreted. It's still a 3-star, that's why I'm putting it on there on the economic calendar. But I don't think it's going to have the same effect like the CPI causing inflation. But it's a gauge on inflation. Excuse me. The basic point behind all this stuff is to see whether these interest rates are bringing down inflation. If they are, that's going to be good, bad for the dollar, good for gold, good for the share prices, etc., but bad for the dollar. If it's not having an effect, it means the expectation more higher increasing of interest rates, which means stronger dollar, bad for gold and bad for the stock market. You can't say the forex and it'll be good for the dollar, but I mean, you might be the Japanese yen against the euro. Well, that's got squat to do with it. So the forex is slightly different. Okay, but I hope that makes sense. Okay, fine. Social media, in fact, media is one of the major causes of strife in the world, John. It's playing down to, shall we say, lower thinking, lower educated mentality, forcing dreams on them, which is basically marketing ploy. You know, this like the guy standing there, always good looking, always in a smart suit, always in front of a smart car. You know, it's playing to the dream and aspirations of the, shall we say, slightly less sophisticated people in our on the planet, shall we say. And I think they cause the problem by sensationalizing and then complain after the problem that exists, because people are now protesting about it, but they cause it in the first place by promoting it. The hypocrisy of the social media for their own gain and irresponsibility is more to the point, is probably the cause of most of the problems we're having. Mostly that, Sean, absolutely. Very much so. And that's why the less educated turn to the dream, which is something for nothing. Believe me, nobody's going to knock on your door and give you something for nothing. They're there for something for their own case. I'm not going to go around to your place and give you something. I want something. If you benefit to a certain extent, that's a bonus, but that's not the primary cause I'm banging your door. You get the idea. So, yeah, they're not spending money putting this stuff on for your benefit. They're putting on for their own benefit. If you benefit, that's a cherry on the top. But it's for theirs. They're not spending money to help a stranger. You know, and this continual oh no, you can only start with $10 or whatever it is, or 10 rand or whatever they do. It doesn't matter this in any product or anything like that. It's morally questionable, if you would leave it at that. But then again, up to us human beings to use our brain and think. Animals can't, we can. That's what makes us different. And if you can't think, So but that guy told me if I took this pill, I'd be running faster than Usain Bolt. Well, it's up to you to think a little bit. You know what I mean? I had one guy, he put 200 Rand and thought he was going to make 5 grand a month. And he couldn't seem to understand the fact that why not go to the bank and borrow 200 grand and you make 5 million a month. Within a few days, you pay the 200 grand back. And then by the end of the year, you'll be rich and Elon. And he just looked at me slightly strangely. Is that possible? He said. I don't know what to say to that. Yeah, it's just got to think, guys, please. Right, well, you come to here, so you must be able to think you took the trouble. But a lot of guys are not trading without even knowing 1 and 1 is 2, and wondering why it gets bitten. Okay, no one run faster. Yes, no, there's me. When the tax man cometh, I run faster. Just joking. Right, still too early to move the stop and CHF-JPY, so the other leave that for the moment. I want to get the CAD JPY again from the pull back. It's something I'm looking at, guys. We've come back this far, but I think it's too indecisive to use at the moment. I'm still worried about the dollar. It's not really performing because I want to get this thing going. I see a great potential upside on this one, but I'm just worried again at the dollar. It's just not getting moving. I look at my dollar index again. It's just hovering still. It's just not getting moving. So I'm a little bit reluctant, but I don't want to miss the damn thing. Very difficult to call. Very difficult to call because the Swiss franc is, in my opinion, stronger at this stage than the yen. And if I'm nervous to buy the dollar yen, why would I buy the dollar Swiss franc? At the same time, I'm not sure I'd be selling it because the sort of Damocles, or whatever you pronounce it, of interest rates and the hawkish Fed is still hanging above the dollar index, which could mean if it continues to be hawkish, we could get a jump in the dollar. So if that case, obviously I see upside, but it's not happening at the moment. So if I'm nervous to go in the dollar yen, why would I go into this one when the yen is weak, in my opinion, that is in the Swiss franc? So in this case, I personally think leave it alone. It could come back. You can come back, yeah, but it could bounce from here. To me, it's 50-50 at the moment. I would leave this alone. Super wonky show. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, super wonky. Some of these fancy multi-syllabic jargon used by economists will sound clever and confuse you. Like wonky will do quite nicely. Cluck cluck is the name of the game. For me, US dollar is wonky. So for me, US dollar Swiss franc is cluck cluck. There's my highly analytical, trading analytical take on that one. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Basically, John, yeah. We're definitely clucking together. I can't see a nicer person to go clucking with than yourself, then, Cheryl. Remember my fair lady? Oozing charm from every pore. He oiled his way onto the floor. Probably before your time. Anyway, so not sure we're going to bring up. Yesterday was one day, I have to say, I couldn't really come up with any. Very rarely a day goes by I don't post something as a signal on my group, but I couldn't yesterday. Apologies, but I'm not going to post rubbish for the sake of it. Today, I'm still battling, except the Netflix for later on is a possibility. F-stop for later on is a possibility on the US share market. And so far, the Swissy Japanese yen seems to be doing okay. So having said that, John, I mentioned to you, I think Gerard, you're here, we're in the trading room. Let's see if we can find something here. There we are. See if we find something here. Your job now is to help me. Oh, NGAS. Bloody hell, NGAS. Come on in a minute. If you like paint drying, we'll look at NGAS. What do you want to do with this one? NZDJPY. What do you want to do with this? Do you want to buy it? Do you want to sell it? What do you want to do with it? Well, okay. My opinion, I would like to actually, before I state my opinion, I've got a better idea. There's not many trades going on at the moment. Let's see how much you learn and have some fun at the same time. John sees NZD JPY as a possible short. Anybody see leave it alone? See a possible short or a possible long on this particular one? Let's come on, guys. You've all learned stuff in here. You profess to learn stuff in here. Now you got to get off and actually put on here some ideas. See what you think. Maybe to sell. I'm going to take that maybe as maybe a sell. So I'm write this down. See how many go for either. I'll put down NZD. Just give me a second to write that down. And put down sell, buy, and LIA. Leave it alone. See how many ticks we get. There we are. Sean is a possible sell, so I'm going to tick for a sell there. John seeing potential sell. That's 2 ticks for a sell. Gerard is rather a long. I'm not saying anything, by the way, guys. John, you can't change your mind now, mate. Yep, you said a sell, so stick with it. I'll give my opinion in a minute. Could be wrong, but I'll give it a minute. Right, Gerard is going for a long. Anybody else? Don't forget, say leave it alone with pleasure. A sell on Philip, that's 3. Sellers are winning 3, 1 on the buy, and 0 on the LIA. What am I bid? What am I bid? Auctioneer, heck. A sell, a sell there. Oh, calling up the sells there. Leave it alone and Mika. Buy at a better price. Okay, let's have a few more. A buy from Montanella. Buta Raj. I've already got you down to sell. Can't say Buta Raj. I can't maneuver the market unless you send me $10 million in unused notes, and then I can. There you are. Yeah. Yes, we have, Anna. We can look at that in a minute after we've done that. Netflix, particularly in forward stock, yeah. And please don't do, guys, when I say modify your stop loss and something you're in, don't go and enter it. So have the guy go and enter it. Or I say buy the ABC, BBC, and the guy's already in. They go and buy it again. Well, then you're doubled up. So I'm trying to put before in. If I get to do that, try and say I'm already in it. Leave it. Yeah. If you're not in this, clearly, if I put a trade idea up, you're already in. Yeah, double up. You ignore it. If it's modifying, you're not on board. As soon as you get into it, you ignore it. You only modify it if you're on board. Maybe. Okay, so I've got a few out there. I'll give my opinion on it. First of all, I'm going to be on the side here of the one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 sells, 2 buys, and 1 LIA. I'm on the side of Mika on that one. I'm going to leave it alone. The reason why I'm going to leave it alone is because it's right on resistance. It's in the buy zone. I get that completely. The New Zealand dollar has been quite strong lately, and the Japanese has been fairly weak. So I would look probably to buy it if it breaks through that resistance. So I'm leaning more of a buy than a sell. But so I'm going to leave it alone. That's my take. If I did do it, I'm looking for a break above there, not at market. I'm with a possible buy for further upside. I'm backing that over that. But I take the point is high, it might come off a bit, but I'd rather buy a pullback rather than sell it down. That's my take on it. Okay, we'll see what happens. Okay, I'll put down the market price and see what happens. 86.27, and we can come back and see what happens on it. But at the moment, I'd either buy a pullback or a break. In the meantime, I'd leave it alone. That's my take. Okay, see what happens. Thanks for those who contributed there. Makes it more interesting. We're not trying to catch anyone right or wrong. We're trying to learn. I know you ladies got to deal with us male egos. So I'm saying to you guys, please forget your male ego. This is where the learning process is more important. Because I'm told by ladies that's the toughest thing to do with bloody male is their sodding ego. So try and bite your ego back, put your arm up and say buy, sell, leave alone, or whatever for fun, and we can learn from it, see how it works out. And that's why I like having Zeph here, because many times we've had he won a long, I want a short, or I want a long, he wants a short, or whatever, and that's see how it goes. He's been right, I've been right, we both been right. You get the idea. and we're all right till one of us is wrong. Yeah. Okay, so we'll come back to that. Now, as Anne-Marie said, we'll look at a couple. Obviously, don't jet Netflix. Tesla now is practically at the TP. Most people can't do anything about it now. Modify their stop loss and the profit on opening. And if it gets to TP, what a pleasure. If it doesn't and starts popping up, it might be worth taking. It's up to you. You know, you're in such a nice profit anyway. Why try and hold on and then see a profit dwindle away? So that went very nicely. Baba, leave it alone for the moment. BA, we'll see how that goes. But again, 174 entry, it's too close to modify the stop to enter at this stage of the game. So you get a bit more downside there. NASDAQ is very iffy at the moment. And don't say Boeing, I know it's not part of NASDAQ, but I'm saying the indices are very iffy at the moment. So we'll see how it opens. I'm looking at we sent out very likely around about 4. It's just before opening. The reason why we don't send it out now is we've got too many guys out there complaining they can't put the order in. And it takes us time, admin time, etc., to come back and say, sorry, mate, you can't because the market's closed. In other words, they're buying a course and they're trading without going to a single class. Who wants to be a doctor here? I don't know, everyone wants to be a doctor without going to a class. But who thinks you can become a doctor without going to a class or two? You can't. Same with this. And you'd be astounded the percentage of people pay good money for it and don't even open the first page. It's all down online, so we know. Big Brother knows, and it's enormous. And I mean, on the first page, I haven't attended any classes, and they're trading, and that's where they can get heading up. NGAS was mentioned. We had one about a month ago on this one, about 6.15, and it's in profit at the moment, but it's grinding along. I personally think leave it alone. If you've got enough money in your account, you want to tie it up for a particular period, buy or sell it or whatever, and maybe for a month or two, that's up to you. But it's so slow. I think unless you've got plenty of money, you want to indulge yourself fair enough. Otherwise, I think better fish to fry. It isn't a profit. If you're still in from the original one, I can't remember, about 6 weeks or so ago, modify your stop loss to 6.15, whatever you entered in, and then just let it run or take your profit or do what you like with it. It's too damn slow. Schrodinger's trainer, don't know that. That one I don't know. Don't know Schrodinger. I've never read Schrodinger. Sounds good, doesn't it? Never heard of him actually. Okay. Netflix we'll discuss there. I'm looking at a short on this one. You can see it's come back and tapped that and held. I see some downside here. I think it's overcooked. We don't know what's going to open at. So if we put at 4 o'clock, that's your entry price. You can use your live, but it might open below it, or it might above. If it's above, it comes off, you can get a better price. If it's there by coincidence, fine. If it's a lot lower, depending on how much lower, you've got to think. If it opens up at 280, obviously it's going to be too far to chase. If it opens up at 292 or 293 or 294, 294 is better, right? But anything below that, with a maybe $1 or so, it's not a problem. Only problem is it's quite a wide stop. We've got a 314 stop and 254. So you're talking about $21 per share. That's about 360 Rand. So you'd have to jump that down to 0.1 is going to be $2 per $2 a micro for those who haven't got a big enough account. So if you had a smaller account, you still do it, but then you'll be 0.1 is a mini, so it's $2 a mini. So if you want to risk $10, it's 5 minis. If you want to risk $20, you get the price. And it'll be sent out to you on the copy and paste. It will be sent out to you, as long as you understand that. I'll put it out to you now, actually, so you can see what I'm on about. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. I've got it copy and pasted here. Come on. The scrolling thing's not working properly. That's better. There it is. So send successfully. There's a file there. You can open it up. Of course, you can't do anything about it now, but it gives you there. So it's about $21 a share. So if you can't afford $21 risk, then you'll have to do, well, work it backwards. Okay. Hope that's all clear. But it'll be sent out later on anyway. Please don't make the Amazon mistake of thinking that we don't know when it's going to open. So if it's a better price, you like it, what a pleasure. It's the worst price. Again, you got to think, if it's $10 below, obviously the chip sale, $1, it's not a problem. So is it $1, $1.50? I can't call that. It's up to you. But do the maths and think about it. Yeah. Look at the entry. Blindly following. We don't want guys to blindly follow. We want guys to learn how to fish and come up like Gerard and guys do, and Zeph and Philip and whoever. We trade ideas so we can look, and it benefits me as well. That's a good idea. Let's do it. And it helps everybody. Okay. Per share. So clearly that's for 1.0. So if it's 0.1, it's 2. So should we say, just make it easy for two, what's $2, 2.1? That's about, it's about 1734, a little bit more. Call it 40 Rand. $2.1 or 40 Rand, shall we say, per mini, 0.1. Just divide by 10. Goodness sake, simple as that. Hey, the dollar started to move up, for a pleasure. Okay, so yeah, so if you can't, obviously I don't mean to do, I do, but I'll look it up, but not every single one of you. But you know what you got in your account and work out your risk accordingly. Please, not 0.01. This is not Forex. You're wasting your time. 20 cents risk is ridiculous. Okay, and that's the biggest trouble. People going over from Forex to shares, they're putting 0.1 or whatever. This is a bigger one, but normally it's, like Ford stock we'll look at the moment. We've agreed about the Netflix. I think it's going to be some downside down to about here, stop up here. So I've got the stop up here and the TP down here somewhere. Okay. Don't forget, you can always modify. If it doesn't get there and it gets here or gets here, and your profit, take it. Okay, now F stop is the other one. That's a different ball game because F stop is not what was Netflix, $300. It's only $14 a share. That's a different one. I'll be honest, I took it around about these levels here, about 14.30 or something, a couple of days ago, close to this. I sold it something like that. But I still think it's got possibilities of a short, depending on opening. We'll look at it on opening, or you look at opening, I won't be here. But maybe a stop up here. Let's say it was open now. You want to get in now. The stop would be about 90 cents, and the TP, I'd say you can take it down to here. So that's going to be about a $2.90. So literally, it's 90 cents for 1.0. What's 90 cents? That's about 16 Rand on the top of my head, plus minus. So that would be about 16 Rand a share, or shares 1.0. So if you want to risk 160, you put 10.0. A lot of guys get that scared. 10, because they're used to Forex, we need millions to do 10.0. So put 0.02. And it hits the target, and they can now afford to buy a box of matches. So get that volumes correct. Hope we're all on the same page. If not, please ask. If this is important. Okay, now, Sean, I want to be fair on Netflix. I don't subscribe. To be honest, it's just me. It's not my particular. I don't watch a lot of American stuff. I just find it marketing narrative, and I like to do my own thing. I don't like them to tell me what I must think. But it's not really. I don't agree at all. I think it's quite simple. I'm going to put an example down how simple it is. I'm using dollars. You multiply into rands. I'm going to put by Sean. Very good company, by the way. Strongly recommended. By Sean Incorporated at 100. All in dollars, remember. SL 95 TP. Make it, I don't know, we should make 115. There we are. A bit of fun. Okay. So the risk, I know there's 0.4% cost, but it's so minimal. Don't worry about it. Risk is, what is it? It's 5 per share, or 1.0, or part thereof. It's as simple as that. Far from complicated. It's incredibly simple. You get it? So all you do, I'm going to go and buy this now, right? And I'm going to put my stop here, well, down here. I'm going to put my stop here, right? That says 13.20. The difference is 58 cents. It's for 58 American cents per 1.0. Multiplied by 17.4, whatever it is, getting rands, and away you go. Anybody not get that? Because if you can't get that, I think seriously, come to see me. I've got a lovely maths course to sell. Special price for you. Very, very little profit for me. I give you special discount. But seriously, you've got to know the basic arithmetic. Anybody not understand the maths I put up there? Or a even better deal than that is sell Zeph Incorporated. The reason I'm negative on that is I always disagree with my trade. So yeah, sell Zeph Incorporated. That's not a guarantee, but high probability short. But joking apart, Zeph, you carry on doing exactly what you do. I'm obviously big time kidding. Fully appreciate your contribution, and Sean and everybody. But it's me having my little bit of fun. But it's simple as that, Anne-Marie. That's all you have to do. So take the entry from the stop loss. That is your risk in dollars for 1.01 share. And maybe you do 1.5 or 2.7 or 4.8. And all then you do say, right, the risk at the moment is, let's say, $5 per share. What's that? That's what 5x, that's 90 Rand is 18, maybe 75 Rand. Off the top of my head, 75 Rand a share. If you're in Rands, I can afford to risk 350. 75 to 350 is 5 times. So therefore, I'm going to go for 5 shares. Is there anything there people can't get? And if you're too shy to say so, go and find out. But you must get that. Anybody not get that? You can go to the CFD calculator. It does take into account that 0.4%, not 1%, 0.4%, below 1% of the actual share price. I mean, it is there, but it's a few cents. You know. But the overall picture, I didn't bother with minor trades. But you can go to the position size calculator on the Excel with pleasure. But if you've got that concept and you're looking for complication like Sean was, it's not. It's like part closing. It's not. It's simple. It's just you weren't aware of it, so you weren't aware of it, or it's new, you think it's complicated. There's a lot of complicated stuff in derivatives as you start going to Bloomberg and the American stuff. Inverted high derivative areas on different forms of options. Now we're talking complications, but this stuff is basic. Uncovered positions and things like that. They've got a highly sophisticated derivative market set up there. There are all sorts of clever covered positions and different areas there, which do need a lot of mathematical working out. What the computers do once you know how to feed the computer to get the concept. I did swaps, options, forwards in my exams here. That's a lot more mathematics than this. So you don't have to worry about it. This is what you need to do. Well, there you are. There, you're an engineer. Well, there you are. Good example, engineer. This is not engineering. This is arithmetic. It's not mathematics. It's just once you see the concept, how do you always do it? Yeah. Okay. Well, if you're an engineer, you don't need the better CFD calculator, for goodness sake. In fact, an engineer shouldn't need on the forest. But perhaps you could do that in your head, but it makes it easier and quicker. Okay, right, where were we? So F stop, I'm seeing it depending on opening. I want the stop up here. So keep an eye, you can look at it if you like. Make it 90 cents above. So what was that figure? I forgot. What's 90 cents on that? That's 1380 and 90 would be 1470. Look at it from later on. F stop sell. Obviously, depends what it opens. I'm putting 13.78. That's what it is at the moment. 8 SL 14.70 TP. I reckon get it down here. Like 1150. I'm not going to put the risk per share because I think you'll all do it now. F stop's forward, by the way. Don't forget the stop. We're going to put the full stop after the code. Sell at that, TP at that. So what we got there? Call it 1380. Call it 90 cents. Strictly speaking, it's 92 cents a share. American. 92 US cents a share. Anyone have any problem with that? Anybody still not know how to work out? I'll tell you what, I'm going to put down this. Yeah, your risk on this particular trade, I'm going to make it 450 Rand. Not dollars, Rand. There you are. Yeah. What is your volume on f-stop? Anybody not how to calculate that? Not getting a risk called calculator, just getting a calculator out and doing it. Well, I do all the time doing it ahead, but you don't have to. Just get a basic calculator out and do it. Anybody there battle to work out what your volume is, having that information. This is important because you cannot trade if you don't get that volumes right. I'm sorry I'm going on about it because I reckon 80 is understating, probably 85 to 90%. Why people screwing up, they just cannot seem to get the concept of volume correct. It's like budgeting, not knowing what your budget is, wondering why you can't pay the rent if you over budgeted. So, anybody tell me what the volume size on that? Use 17, not 17.4. Use 17 as the exchange rate on the Rand. Okay. Anybody get a figure on that? It's taking some time, yeah? What? What? You got your decimal point place there wrong there, Mika. What's the zero between friends, eh, Mika? Trouble, it's the wrong side of the decimal point. It makes a big difference. 2. Any advance on 2? 12. Any advance on 12? I'll do it quickly with you guys because you're both wrong. Right. What is the difference? Let's just go back up there on the chat line. Let's just do this quickly. I know other trades are coming out, so we'll do this quickly. 1470 minus 1378 comes to, let's see, I've got that right, 1470 and 22, to me that's 92 cents. Have we got that now? Put 92 cents, put 0.92 in your calculator, 0.92, because it's 90, it's not $1, it's 92 cents. So put 0.92 in your calculator, write it down, 0.92, then we're doing it in rands, remember, then you multiply by 17, which equals, let's do that again with you, 0.92 multiplied by 17 equals 15.64. Have you got that? So that means per share. So if you by putting 1.0, your risk is 15.64 Rand. Thank goodness, non-Finello. You got that quicker than I can say your name. Brilliant. Right. So that is your risk per 1.0. Shares, one share, 1.0, right? But you want to risk 450. So 450 divided by 15.64 gives you what I did is 28.77. 28.77. So the volume size is 28.7, or forget 29 or 28. I'm going to say, bit of common sense. You don't put 28.7. Put either round it down to 28 or 29 shares. Okay, Pete, that's fine. Oh, sorry, I haven't. Just a second. I haven't pressed enter. Can't see what I'm writing. See it? I'm only spending time on this because we haven't got any other things to particularly look at the moment, but hopefully we'll get them later on. If you've got a trade idea, as always, rules of the, they said rules of the den, rules of the trading room, that comes first. Because that trade is number one. This just is quiet. Well, actually, look at the euro. It's hot past. You'll look at the euro in a moment. Just copy and paste that, and then you get the, and then it saves you a lot of time because it's continuing getting volumes right. I see guys going to Tesla, not Tesla, Ford, 0.01 or 0.05. And it's ridiculous. Anybody not got the maths now? None first got it. Anyone not got it? Get it. If you try to say you haven't got it, we'll do it. You cannot trade unless you get these volumes right. What's happened to euro dollar? Let's see any movement on that. Go to 15 minutes. Any happening on it? Let's go to 5. She's been open now for 15 minutes. Let's look at a couple of candles. Fairly hawkish. Thought it might be. She's still talking, guys. I'm not listening to her, to be fair. I'm talking to you, but I know she's not going to do a speech in 15 minutes. That's obvious. Well, that's the whole speech. That's obviously finished already. You should still be doing. How can you discuss the world's euro's economy in 15 minutes? Anyway, whatever. I expect a bit of hawkishness. That's why I'm looking more of a buy and leave it alone till after 10:30 on the NZD JPY we had a few months ago. So, and shortly euro dollar. Dollar's gone up a bit, I'll give you that, but it's not really getting much follow through. A euro's got a moment of bit of strength. I'll just wait till the dust settles on that. And again, I agree, look for a short. I don't think that euro is going to overtake the dollar. Look for a short, but we got one out at 1.0420 yesterday on the group. Some guys are stopped out and a profit. Some guys are still in a profit. Don't enter again. If you went into the first time, I hear you. I'm a bit iffy on it. It seems to be holding that magenta 10-day moving average line for a short. I'm not fine. No. Sorry. Seem to be holding there. But I personally rather get it around about here, near the 1.04 mark. Might get a bounce, might miss it. That's me. If I miss it, I miss it. I can't see how they have. I can't see us speaking for 15 minutes. I'm this time just guessing that. I mean, to be a politician, you got to be like me, talk too very much. Yeah. But I'd rather get it there. If you're in, hold it. If you're not in, I think try and get a better price. Might risk missing it. Anyone want to dive in now? To give you a due, the dollar has gone to 106.70. What do we put the stop? Need a wide stop. Could do the wide stop up there. It's 129. Call it $13. That is a micro. It's $13 a micro. What's that? 130, 770, about yeah, it's about 200 rand a micro plus minus off the top of my head. It's quite a lot. Plenty of downside and take it down. That's too much. Take it back out there. Get your risk reward. Anyone want to do this? But I want the stop up there. It's going to be wide. Anyone want to do this? Oh, sorry, before we do that, I'm just going to put some of my guys out there. CHF JPY. That's one. Cyril. Modify the stop. Just give me a moment, put it out to my guys. So I'll hold you up, but my members are very, very important to me. What a crawler. Okay, send it out to the guys. So anyone a member there? would have been told to modify. So they basically modify the stop loss. I modified the 147, by the way. So they're in profit. Some got at 90, some got 80, some got at 70, whatever, but they're all in profit. Okay, so that's good. Right. Yeah, okay. You're on board, I think, Philip. You should be on board my group. Just put it down again. Those who got 2.5 more and not on my group, tell me. If you're on the group, obviously, Father. I'll put it down again for you. Because I think, back me up here, it's been pretty useful to you guys, hey? Yeah, okay, basically the same. Thanks for that, Sean. Basically the same as pound. That's what they're doing. I'm doing the UK as well. Bottom line. Actually, to be honest, more or less what I expected. I've been as surprised as anything else, but you never bloody know. That's the way. Okay, you're a GBP short. Okay, Anne-Marie, I hope it's benefit to you. Hope you're doing all right. The trades seem to be going, the signals seem to be going overwhelmingly well. So that's great. Hope it continues that way. You're a GBP. Second, somebody sent something through here. Okay, what's this now? Just give me a second. Okay, right. Where were we now? Okay, yeah, Euro GBP. It's in a neutral zone. My problem with this, to be honest, sure, yeah. I know you're looking at it technically. The new guy, Jeremy Hunt, is, as I said, he's looking to reduce taxes and, increase taxes and reduce borrowing to fight inflation. Lagarde has come out with the same story, not about reducing taxes, but certainly the fight to reduce inflation, which means hawkish on interest rates, so it could gain a little bit of strength on both of them. That's my worry. So on a fundamental basis, if the euro could outdo the GBP and then could pop up, or fundamentally the pound might outdo the euro and pop down, it's a bit difficult to call. And it's backing up that my indecision with what the market is saying indecision as well. Because look at the previous day's candle, a complete indecision candle. I don't call them dojis. I feel these fancy names. People like to have fancy names, and it makes them look important. The bottom line is the information it's giving you. The information tells you, as it goes up, no follow through, sellers come in. Look at that wick. As it goes down, no follow through, buyers come in. Look at that wick. Indecision, not quite the same, but similar to the day before. It's hovering in this range. What is the range, by the way? The range is about this level here. But 90 pips is not a bad range, I suppose, but even that's a bit of an iffy range. If you take it over 3 days, it's only about 60 odd pips. Then we've got to take costs, moving around, where you can put your stop. The range to me is very much a scalping range. rather than arrange for a slightly more of a swing trading kind of trade. It disappeared again into the neutral from the buy, didn't hold enough to buy. So there's a possibility of a downside technically here, but I just think the pound could give a bit of jip. I'm just saying it could have a bounce on the bottom of the range. I think because they're pretty even Steven at the moment, those two currencies. I personally think it could drift around within that 60, 80, or whatever pip range it was. In fact, it might even bounce. It might even bounce here. Let's have a look. To here, 30 pips. It might even get there. 60 pips to come down. That means you've got to have a stop down here. Might just squeeze out an aggressive buy on it. I think the risk is too high to make it worth your while. And just after she's announcing there, there's too many balls in the air for me to call either way on that card, to be honest. Huge indecision, yeah. It's just too much for me to call. I personally would LIA it. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm the same there. We'll look through the euros quickly if you like. I'm doing it quickly and show you what with a bit of experience and practice you can get at. Euro CAD, was it Euro CAD on the daily? Okay. Yeah, the CAD to me is completely undervalued at the moment. I think some strength has come in. If anything, I might see some downside. But it's clearly in the up zone, clearly in the strong zone, clearly the buyer's still there, clearly indecision. Buyers are there. Leave it alone, but I'll be very nervous to buy it here. I think you might get a bit of a pullback, but not enough to give a confirmation doing it with it. We'll go to the next one, Euro CAD, Euro AUD. We'll do that one. Same principle. I think we could get a bit of upside here. It's in the buy zone. Bit of strength coming in. I think there's a chance here, a better chance than the previous one, that is. A chance it might just hold, bounce, where put the stop. That's too far away. Put the stop here. Yeah, I can do that and maybe take it up here. Maybe squeeze there, maybe a little bit higher. I think it's a possibility of upside. This is actually not too bad. A possibility of upside on that one. The Euro AUD. Now we've got Lagarde out of the way. I might cluck a bit on this one, Cheryl, as well, to be honest. But I think there's a possibility of upside on this. In fact, a more look at it, the possibility. I'm just going to write that down a second, have a little bit of a look at it just now. AUD, buy. I'm not sure I'm jumping with confidence, but right, let's look at the weekly. Any problems on the weekly? Indecision again, but we had the guard speak. Go back to the 4 hour. It seems to be holding here. I think there's a possibility of a bounce there. Hour telling me anything? No real confidence. Oh, the hour it's holding on the hour. Remember, it's the 50 times 1 hour, the 200 times 1 hour. It seems to be holding. It's more like it. More quite like it actually. I think it's a possibility. This one. I look at trades between a 60 to 70% in my head. That is probability. I think this is about a 60% probability of a buy, not a short. Yeah, a bit of dust to be settled. I agree on that. I'm looking here at more of a buy than a sell. A 60% probability. Where can never look at it. Anyone want to look at this one? Quite aggressive. I'm telling you right now, it's aggressive. Stop that. What will the daylight stop down there? Maybe a little bit wider. Make it stop there. That will do. Just below these guys. It's too wide. Make it a little bit closer. Now make it going too far. 70. 53.70. TP would take here, I think. Let's say that. 56.40 will do. Cover the spread that way. No, make it tighter TP there. Bring it down here. That's better, yeah. What's that say? Call that 55.93 will do the job. Or 55.90 or some of the TP. But yeah, that's about 90 bucks a micro, an aggressive trade. Not bad. I think that to me, I'm looking maybe a chance for a bounce up on this one. Anyone like the look of this one before we close up? Okay, Hal likes it. You're a leave it alone. Apart from Gerard, anyone like it? If I get three, not two, three people, I might send it out to my guys. Sean likes it, okay? Anybody else? Have a splendid weekend. I like the word splendid. Have a splendid weekend, Michelle. So Sean likes it. Anybody else? Okay, so that's good enough. Let's see what, I'll send it out to head office. If they like it, I'll post it. If you're not all rushing off, I would look a few more. We might get a few more in the Euro. If you don't mind, hang on past 11 o'clock. The whole idea is get traders out, and we haven't got any out so far. Come on, what's happening now? Okay, right, what was that? EUR, AUD. What's the next one on the Euro? EUR CAD does, EUR CHF. Bit strong, the EUR CHF. I think it's probably in the neutral zone as well, yeah. My immediate thing is I could be a bounce from here, but I'm a bit nervous against the Swissy, so I think I'll move on from that. Done that. Euro JPY. I think it's a bit overcooked, the JPY. I think it's more a possibility in this one. Don't like those indecision candles, though. That's my problem. I can put the stop down here, too far away down there. I've been saying the Japanese yen's a bit oversold lately, but it doesn't seem to be happening as yet. So I think we'll just stay on the sidelines on that one. Euro NZD. Might get a bounce on this one for the same reason. Put the stop down here. Taking it up there. Possibility of one on this one as well. Look at the weekly, any problems there? Nope. 4 hour? Nope. 1 hour. Buyers coming in. Not bad. I haven't missed it. I think it's a good chance of this one. Okay, a lot of guys are in, so that's good. That's confirmed. So I get an okay on that one. I'll send it out. This one I think is a possibility as well. Buy. Let's look at the fib. That's a good idea. I forgot about that. Put the fib in. Not really. Doesn't help the cause. This will take it from here. Maybe take a slightly tighter fib. Fiddle around if it fits into what your narrative. That's how it should be. Hey, I'm just joking. Yeah, that's much better. I like this one actually. So I'm going to just save the picture. Oh, hang on. We'll put this up first. Hey, idiot. Right, where to put the stop? Down there, maybe down there. Make it around 1.67. And TP we can take up to 38.2, I think. 6950. What does that give us? No, so put a bit higher. That should do the job, eh? Copy and paste that, put it on there, see if it's okay, and send it out. Right, okay. So that's the one. Do you like that, guys? URNZD. Same read. If you like the other one, I as well like this one, eh? 6. We did look at Brent's. I said, do look at me. What do some, yeah. Sorry, wrong one, idiot. Just give me a second, guys. That's why typos, I rush it. Sorted. Right. Okay, what was that one? Brent. So we like that. So I put that down as well. Brent, let's knock this off. Look at Brent. Euro USD. No, look at USD first, actually. Yeah. I want to do it, but I want to get a better price. Mentioned look at that one there, Chepo. I want to do it, but we mentioned a few moments ago. I want to do it, but I want to do it at a better price to sell. I'm not buying the euro against the dollar. I'm selling. The other one we're buying, this one we're selling. I want to sell it round about the 1.04 mark. If we can reach 1.04 and the dollar index, please check the old dollar index first. You all got it now, posted on the chat line for you. Check it, it's still strong or above, let's say 106.50, maybe rising a bit, then you can sell it down. I think the dollar is stronger than the euro, and we just need to get a better price. So we'll come back to that, but not right now. Brent's very iffy. I think it's probably a bit oversold at the moment. If anything, I'd probably look to buy it, as a matter of fact. But yeah, buy it. But I mean, some more stuff could come out and push it down further. I know the stockpiles are much higher than expected on the inventories on Wednesday. People are flying less, so I think boats should start taking off. B8 should start coming down. Fuel price a bit higher, better pressure on. It could come down further, but I'm not sure it's going to come down that much to justify a short. So I'd rather see if it comes down a bit further, maybe down here somewhere, maybe 84-ish or even a bit further down, maybe buy it. I'm a bit nervous to short it down there. I like a $4 risk on this one. You've got to take it down there to make it worthwhile. Yeah, you could possibly do it. That's $7 with a $4 risk. You could if you think it's going to get back there. I'm not so sure myself. It's just a lot of indecision on this. Political interference is big time. I think Brent may be better fish to fry elsewhere. And I wouldn't be buying it here either, even though it's come down technical support. Bit of indecision. Nothing to stop it going down further or getting a bounce. There's too many balls in the air for that one. I think Brent would give it a miss. So I've just looked at the euro. So I think that'll cover that for now. Yeah, the only one I want you to keep an eye on for a possibility is this one here. We've already had a profit on this yesterday. I think we might get a possibility of this one. Starts breaking out, look at the DXY, or pulls back, look at the DXY for a buy upwards. I think Japanese strength is near exhaustion. Dollar weakness is nearing exhaustion. We don't want to miss it because there's a good chance of getting right back up here or even better. And it could be very good indeed. Well, it's up to you how you want to do it. So scalp me up and speak for everyone in here. Okay, great, guys. That was hopefully profitable. CHF JPY is fine. Hope it needs to work out. You can take it from there. Okay, guys. I think so. 50-50 euro dollar. Okay. Great. Grab you on Monday. No, sorry. It's actually back on Monday, Tuesday. I'll be back on Wednesday. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, everyone else. Hope you've all good stuff. Hope you've WhatsApped me, Mickey. I think you got stuff anyway. And I'll upload you. Okay. And anybody else I'll upload who's got the money in their account to become a member. I like the word, a member of my elite. I'm going to call it the elite QT group. Cheers, guys.